Hello, everyone. Welcome to Developing Palates. I'm Aaron Loomis, and with me, as always, is June Liu. How you doing, June?
Good, man. We got rain helping out the drought in California.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have like, I don't know, 10 straight days of rain, so it's gonna be interesting how that works out.
Bring it all. Don't increase my water bill.
So today we are talking about the Illusione Garagiste Robusto. This is the true Robusto 5-inch by 50 ring gauge. Comes out of the Tabs factory in Nicaragua. Wrapper's Ecuadorian Habano, and the binder and filler are both listed as coming from Nicaragua. Blender is Dion Giolito, and the price point is $8.95, and the cigar was released in July of 2016. So with all the cigar details out of the way, June, what was your pre-light experience like?
It was very good. So first, we kind of like the look of the cigar. I thought the wrapper had a rich and oily Colorado Maduro shade. Um, Things well pressed, seems tight. The bunching roll felt, good. I got a uniform give throughout the whole cigar. The head is finished off with the thick triple cap. Moving on to the nosing experience, the wrapper smell I got, namely cedar and fresh barnyard. When I smell the foot, I got a mix of dry nuts, natural tobacco sweetness, in a touch of white pepper. Cold draw, I namely just got some cedar coming through, but it looked like a good cigar.
Yeah, a medium brown wrapper. There was a couple of medium-sized veins that were protruding. The seams were nearly invisible, and it had three really well-applied caps. Very simple, thin brown band that had white lettering and borders that has the company name and the line name on it. Wrapper aroma was a bit barnyardy for me, and the aroma from the foot just had like a light tobacco sweetness. Pre-light draw, a faint mix of leather and hay, and just a little bit of a spicy tingle on my lips. So flavor-wise, what was your experience for like first third to final third?
So when I first lit up the cigar, after kind of toasting it and kind of purging through that, I got a really good mixture of dark cocoa, dry earth, like a musty meatiness, and a sweet cream mixed nuttiness. I got this oiliness to the profile, and it really coated my palate, which is nice. And then I also got a leather component that joined all the flavors I just talked about within like quarter-inch in a cigar. At that point, at the same rate, surprisingly, the strength of the cigar picked up to medium full. The retrohale had a lot of black pepper, cream mixed nuts, and leather. Finish, it lingered with faint dry nuts, leather, baking spice, and a very nice palate layering, kind of a oily black pepper. Body him at the medium mark. So moving on to the second, third, I started getting deeper notes of that dry earth, dark cocoa, leather, and that sweetness that's coming off, kind of like from a natural sweetness coming off from like a cream mixed nuttiness. I also started getting like an oily cinnamon to it as compared to like the first third where I was just getting like a generic oiliness. But I was able to ID that more as a cinnamon note, and that highlighted the other, especially earthy notes, really well. Same retro, pronounced black pepper, cream mixed nuts, leather. Finish now had that cinnamon coming through, dry nuts, leather, balanced layered black pepper, string thin body, still the same, strength being medium full and body being medium. The last third, it kind of still continued that strata, giving me a very distinctive notes of the dry earth, dark cocoa, leather, and cinnamon. Halfway through, I felt like the black pepper started to kind of ramp up again, as much as like what I was tasting in the first third. At the same rate, that dark cocoa really died down, which was a bummer because I was really digging that dark cocoa. And in general, if it's like a cocoa chocolatey type of note in a cigar, I really like it. So that died down, and it left me mainly with some dry earth, leather, and a little bit of wood bitter tone. The retrohale started to lose that sweet creamy nuttiness, but instead now I was starting to get increased black pepper and leather. Finish now, tapered black pepper, leather, dry wood, strength and body still, medium full and medium. So all in all, I mean, really dug the pronounced notes of the dark cocoa and that dry earthiness, and then it really worked well together.
Yeah, for me, the initial draws brought a light mix of well-aged wood and cinnamon, and then after a few draws, those flavors just became much fuller. And then half inch in, the aged wood gained a little bit of creaminess, which it didn't change the kind of the cinnamon level at all, which I was really appreciative of that because I didn't want it to die down at that time. An inch in, that cream went away, and that aged wood transitioned to more of kind of just a general wood note, and the cinnamon mellowed out just a little bit. Inch and a half in, aged wood note came back, and the retrohale was just like a mild cinnamon. And as the third was coming to a close, a little bit of that cream came back in to join the profile. And strength was just a little bit below medium at that point. Second, third, slight bitterness joined the creamy aged wood and the cinnamon notes that were there. Retrohale had transitioned just to be kind of that aged wood note. And then a half inch in, cinnamon goes away, bitterness increases a little bit while that creamy aged wood is still at the forefront. At an inch and a quarter, the wood note became more defined as oak. And as the third was finishing up, the bitterness increased some more, and it kind of became even with that oak. And the strength bumped up a little bit to be right at medium. Getting to the final third, the cream came back in quite a bit, and it diluted out that bitterness, which was definitely welcome for me. Retrohale consists of like a slightly charred oak, and then at 3/4 of an inch in, the char makes its way into the mouth and enhance that oak flavor a little bit. There's still a slight bitterness in the background, but the cigar started to warm up as it was getting near the end, kind of, and still had that slightly charred oak and a little bit of bitterness. And the strength bumped up again just a little bit to slightly above medium. So performance-wise, for burn and draw, what was your experience like?
A very good burn and an amazing draw. So I smoked a cigar total hour and 50 minutes, which is very good for a Robusto. Burn line was never razor sharp, but all the leaves burned fine, and I never had to touch it up or relight it to any extent. Ashes held on tight with a little bit of flowering, and I got 1 inch increments on the ash marks. And on the draw, like I was saying, perfect. I cut the cigar within like the ring gauge of the cigar, and that yielded just a perfect draw.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the burn was perfect the entire way for me. It was really just spot on. Like I couldn't have asked for anything better. Ash held on for me like 1.25 inch increments. That was nice as well. And then for the draw, it was really good at the beginning, and then it kind of just slowly tightened up as the cigar went along. And then as I got to the end of the cigar, it was pretty snug at that point. So it just kind of deteriorated as the smoking experience went along. So overall, what were your thoughts on the cigar?
It was interesting. Knowing that this is first, I guess, public release of Dion's take on Ecuador Habano. When I was smoking a cigar, I kind of felt like I was wanting to taste like when he typically uses like Aganorsa Corojo Criollo dominant kind of cigars.
Right.
But I really like the cigar. Smoking this and then having smoked his Rothschild Connecticut Shade, it just proves to me further that Dion fits my palate, and I think he's a really good blender. The Garagiste isn't my favorite of the Illusione profile. The original documents are. But this is a really tasty cigar, and I really dug it.
Yeah, I had a great start to the cigar. The aged wood notes and the cinnamon. But then as the first third came to an end, kind of everything left but the wood, and things just kind of became pretty average. Strength was right around medium, so that it shouldn't turn most smokers off from the cigar. But I had high hopes how things started out in that first third. And then kind of by the end, I was a little let down on it. So I'm definitely going to revisit this. I mean, you had a great experience. So I just want to see if that first third can kind of carry on. I don't know how that draw was kind of just tightening up as the cigar went along. If that is what kind of choked out the flavors for me. So I definitely need to give it another shot just to see if I can get something where those flavors kind of continue on further on into the experience. So score-wise, I gave this a 6.27. You gave it an 8.20. How do you think your score matches up with your experience?
It matched up well. I mean, first for me, my experience was very good for both first and second third, and I rated it good on the last third, mainly because halfway through the last third, the cigar kind of decreased in terms of like complexity and flavors.
Mm-hmm.
And I couple that by very good burn and an amazing draw. It shows to me that it's a very good cigar, and a cigar that's well worth for me to hunt down more of and smoke.
Yeah, my score matches up well. I mean, I had a very good first third, and then it was just average after that. And I'm starting to lean towards the fact that draw might have contributed to that. So, something that had a little bit of better draw performance there might definitely come up with a better score. So, I'm always up for giving a cigar another shot. So I'll try that and see how that goes. Any other final thoughts on the cigar?
No, no. This is definitely another good winner for me, and happy he's doing a regular production.
Yeah. Well, thank you for watching. If you're just catching the video on YouTube, be sure to subscribe to us, but also go to the website to see the full written review, developingpalates.com, and follow us on the social media channels, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Google+. Thank you for watching, and we will catch you on the next video.